Okay, let's move on and let's also take a look at what really is happening in terms of earnings. And we've got Mr. S.K. Bajpai, Senior VP Finance and Legal and CFO at GSFC, joining in on the show right now to talk about how their earnings pan out to be. And I'm just looking at the numbers. There was a top line dip of about almost 32% on a sequential basis. The net profit and margins as well took a hit. Mr. Bajpai, hi, morning. Explain what really transpired in the quarter gone by and what explains this, weakness in your earnings.
Yeah, in comparison to quarter three, it is down because of the seasonal impact of the fertilizer industry. Quarter four is always a dull season for the fertilizers, and the next quarter we will be selling more fertilizer to their full extent. However, if you see the YOY basis, the full year result, we have surpassed the numbers of the last year. There is a revenue from operation stood at 9,534 crores, a 4% YOY growth over 9,155 crores during the previous year. PBT also grew 7% YOY to 756 crores, while PAT improved by 5% YOY to rupees 591 crores. If you see quarter by quarter of the last year YOY basis, the performance is also better in this current quarter during in the same period last year. So overall, the performance was nice. The board has recommended the dividend of 250%. Rupees 5 per share of rupees 2 each. But the elevated raw material prices and constant global supply of DAP and phosphoric acid in fertilizer segment and squeezed caprobenzene spread in the industrial product segment really is a matter of concern for GSFC.
All right. Hi, good morning, Mr. Bajpai. This is Shrishti also joining in. So you did highlight some of the concern factors right now and where are the raw material prices headed. But give us some sense that how is demand shaping up with the early onset of the monsoon? What is that you're factoring in? And in the next upcoming quarters, how do you see the demand build up?
Oh, demand is good, pretty good. And the monsoon is also expected to be near normal or above normal. But only the worry is the phosphoric acid prices and the DAP prices in the international market, which is a cause of concern. But we have geared up for production of DAP at our Sikka unit near Jamnagar and also importing the DAP from the international market. The government is also very quick to resolve the issues of the pricing. And as per the information we are getting, the government will compensate the losses and provide a good margin to the fertilizer companies by 4% return on the cost of sales. So all in all, it is a good season coming in the next quarter, and we hope that we'll be having a good sales and the profit in the next quarter.
All right, but Mr. Bajpai, just on the point that you were just highlighting, that the government is also keenly looking in to what's really been happening within the phosphorus price and is also keen to take some actions there. By when do you expect this compensation to actually happen? And what we are getting to hear from the sources is that there could be some hike in the subsidy as well. So give us some sense there that what exactly is the government thinking on what lines, and by when do you actually expect the action to pan out?
Actually, the subsidy rates has been increased by 20% to 25% with effect from 1st of April by the government, but this is not suffice, and again the international prices of DAP has risen to near about $700 per metric ton. So government is coming out as per the information received by the fertilizer industry with some sort of compensation by way of the losses to be incurred by the companies. So still we are awaiting for the notification, but soon the government will come out the final version of the notification. But on all, we are with the government and DOF, and as soon as we receive the notification, we will be getting the much more DAP imports coming to the India. And we are also producing in our Sikka unit, so there will not be any scarcity of the DAP, what I perceive.
How much compensation is the industry really asking for? Because you just highlighted that on 1st of April, there has already been a 20% hike. So what is the industry demand in terms of the compensation?
No, these prices of the phosphatic fertilizers of DAP and PA, these prices are decided on the quarterly basis. So what happened? The government subsidy is decided on biannually basis, means 2 times in a year. So whatever the subsidy is decided by the government, if the prices again increased in the international market, then there is a losses to the fertilizer industry. So what industry is really demanding that there should not be any loss. As soon as the prices of the international market, which to which MRP and the subsidy matches, and at least break even to the industry, so we are comfortable.
All right, and also Mr. Bajpai, since you just highlighted a lot of factors that are at play with respect to demand and the raw material prices, but give us some sense that where do you see the margins headed from here on, because they're already at a lower level of 4.2%. Are you penciling in any improvement with the caveat that the demand is holding up well, and also on the top line, what sort of a growth are you looking forward to?
Yeah, actually the subsidy rates has been, as I told you, 20% subsidy rates has been risen. So that will certainly help in improving the top line as well as bottom line also. Because the raw material phosphoric acid, we have 30,000 metric ton in the stock. So we will produce DAP, and I think that in the Q1 and Q2, there will not be any problem as far as revenue is concerned and the profits are concerned. We are expecting the 1% or 2% rise in the present level of revenues, and as well as PBT and PAT also.
All right, and also Mr. Bajpai, if you can give us some sense on what is your CapEx plan for FY26, and with respect to the ongoing CapEx, what's the current update?
Yeah, actually we have capitalized one solar power project, 15 megawatt capacity at Charakna, which has just now commissioned, and we will be getting the cheaper power from that solar power plant. One more project, Urea 2. These guaranteed test runs are on the verge of completion, and the project will be commissioned during the current month itself. So we will be getting the lesser energy consumption, what is decided by the government. So that will be meeting the government requirement, as well as consumption of the energy will be lesser. Again, one GIPCL 75 megawatt solar power project. We have invested 50 crores odd figure to the GIPCL equity, and we will be getting 37.5 megawatt solar power. One phase of 25 megawatt has already been commissioned, and the second phase is expected at the end of the month or somewhere in June. So that full power GIPCL share of the power of 37.5 megawatt, we will be receiving it, which will be cheaper power, which will be replaced by the costly power from the electricity boards. One more sulfuric acid 5 project that will be commissioned within the 6 months. So at the end of September or October, we will be commissioning this sulfuric acid project. Sulfuric acid prices are very high, so that we are putting up this facility for our own consumption to meet the phosphatic and fertilizer like APS and ammonium sulfate fertilizers, so that sulfuric acid requirement can be fulfilled internally by captive consumption mode.
Right, Mr. Bajpai, thank you so much for your time today. Good to speak with you on the show. That's the word coming in from the GSFC management, stating that this seemed like a one-off quarter because of the cyclicality nature, and by next quarter things should be looking up. 1.25% higher for GSFC as we speak right now. In the meantime, just slight bit of recovery as well for the markets. We are back in the green and